So members clubs are definitely, I guess, like the thing right now. There's too many
quick,
of them.
Though. It was like Casa Chips. What, that opened a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Casa Chips?
Casa
Chips
Cipriani?
downtown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's relatively inexpensive. I think it's like 3,000 initiation, and people are already over it.
So I have a theory that this is coinciding. The rise of the members clubs is coinciding with, I think, a pretty dark period for venture capital. The overwhelming reason to join a VC fund is largely access. You're trying to get access to like interesting companies and stuff like that. And I think that with that dying down a little bit, maybe there's like an economic background to it as well. I think these members clubs are really just supplanting that. But most of the members clubs right now, they don't have an identity. They're just like a members club. So it's like an interesting space. Some of them do, but not like, the Princeton, Harvard, university clubs where there was this unifying factor. Now it's kind of just like, can you afford it? And you have,
and that's it.
Yeah, I think the Jane Hotel is the billionaire one where you have to have $1 billion of assets to like even apply.
What's that one called again?
I forget. What's the one in the Jane?
We need fact check.
Not sure.
John,
I'll look it up.
You got your phone.
This is these places are millionaire matchmakers.
Jamie, look that up.
That's what it is. This is a place to get laid if you're a billionaire.
Yeah, but we were talking about this.
They're importing women.
But
Like, two times ago, we were talking about this. Like,
hookers.
where are people getting laid in New York City? And we talked about the East Village and the Spaniard and stuff like that. Like, are these member clubs that? Like,
Yes,
No,
for
the Spaniard
billionaires.
is definitely where everyone's meeting everyone.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
terrible.
but if you're uber wealthy and you want to like meet a Russian prostitute, then you're doing it there.
Okay, but like,
Or at
I don't get them. I think it's way oversaturated.
what's that
I think
Greek
there's going to be a
restaurant on,
members
like,
club
67th
roll up
Street?
at some point soon, and it's going to go back to like a Soho House type thing. But Soho House's business model is already sort of failing. They're closing a bunch of them.
yeah.
Maybe it's just sort of like it gets played out.
Well,
And if you
the
don't
membership
have that,
has become so oversaturated. I mean, there's just so many people.
that's my point, right?
like airport
if there's not a
clubs.
unifying factor, if there isn't the filter where it's like, we're into hunting, or like, there's the Explorers Club, excuse me, there's an Explorers Club on the Upper East Side, which is about people that go to like Antarctica and like climb Mount Everest. It's amazing.
boring.
They
How
got
do
a
I
big
get into this?
polar bear. That one's very fucking cool. But I do think that a lack of, it's very like representative of just like the nihilism and retardation of today, where it's just like it's a members club for the sake of members club, and it's expensive, and it's a nice place. We went to 2 in Miami. We were in Miami this week. They were empty, completely fucking empty.
But that's why people join. It's like we were saying, the sake of the members club. People are like want that exclusivity. It's like everyone complain about like the airport lounges now.
Yeah.
So everyone has the
NFTs.
Amex Platinum, and it's like the Delta Lounge is overrun. Blah. And it's like, it's not anything special.
You just have some slob from Deloitte hammering the buffet.
Oh, you should see it. When I went to Japan,
He's
I had a
going to
layover.
Milwaukee.
I had a layover in Minnesota when I was going to Japan. That Delta Lounge, whoa. Average BMI hikes up like 3 points.
Where?
It's
In
Minnesota.
Milwaukee? Oh, Minnesota.
It was a
Ah,
crazy
you have to
layup.
beef up in the winter.
I got off the plane. And I'm like, whoa, where am I? Whoa.
The Minnesota airport's actually really nice.
Minnesota. It's basically Canada.
That's a good one.
It makes sense
Yeah.
though. If you get to a certain level of wealth, you can't participate with normal society. You can't go get a drink at a regular place.
That sucks.
Yeah, that does.
Like you need to insulate. There's too much risk to be
but,
out
like,
on the streets.
If it ever got to the point where I couldn't go to like a dive bar, that would be a very difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah.
But if, private jet's nice too.
But
Yeah.
think about the model. Are there as many women to men in the billionaire bracket? I'm not
No,
trying to
that's
put
what I'm
women
saying.
down.
Definitely
They
not.
import
I'm
them.
just saying that there's majority at this point in time male billionaires. So is this just a gay club? Because you can't have enough.
No, there's plenty of women there. They keep
I feel
the
like if you're a
ratios very
billionaire, you
good,
got
I
to be a little
believe.
bit gay. You have so much going on.
If what?
If you're a billionaire,
Shove it up
do
your
some
ass.
gay-
Just,
they
but
do
like
some gay
women
stuff.
have to be lit on a different basis. Anyway, when I was at
Absolutely.
Soho House yesterday, I looked around and I said, the worst people made it. The worst people somehow.
That's why they fuck kids.
That's where the worst people go.
Yes.
The worst
Because
people
they-
want to be there.
I know.
I'll get
Yeah.
to the bottom of it.
And then I was talking shit with the employees, and they were talking shit about the people. They're like, "Oh, only give those to the cool people. Oh, that person's friends with benefits." I was like, "Are you guys allowed to fucking say this stuff?"
Yeah.
And then they were like, we were ripping the girl in the pool in the jeans because we were like, "That's insane." And they're like, "You guys are the coolest people here." And I was like, "That's not even like a compliment.
Yeah.
That's not even a compliment."
I'd be really upset if you
The
didn't
bar's
think that.
below the ground. He's like, "You guys are actually cool." We're like, "Yeah."
Thanks,
That bar is
Robbie.
And this
below
is why I
ground
don't have a
level.
membership.
Shout
I
out
do
to
think
Robbie.
it's interesting.
Do you know
I
how
think
much
I think it implodes.
Oh, it's
and
like 300 every few months.
there's another element of this. The city in general, so the community boards have really knocked down the amount of 2 and 4 a.m. licensing that they are approving for new bars, and the members clubs don't deal with this shit. Like, it's a completely different license. So the fun and the social activities, these places that are actually like pretty important, are getting really, really, hit hard by community boards and the licensing process. Also, the risk and liability of running these places. I understand, like, there's a couple of things that are going into the, I guess, like, wave of member clubs that are opening up, but I don't think they make sense. I think that they're going to have massive failures within 2 to 3 years.
Maybe it doesn't implode though. What if it
can't-
goes the other way?
They have no like
And then
defining factor.
that's the whole thing. Like,
That's
we're
the whole
entering
thing.
into like 20 years of members clubs being the fucking thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
London.
They
That'd
have-
be terrible.
They have no like things separating them and putting themselves like in an individual light.
There,
The majority of the ones
2 to
popping
3
up.
English pubs close in London, every week or something like that. Something absurd. And these members clubs are popping up to basically replace them. But like, that's like a founding tenet of like London culture. Like, an English pub is very important, and just cramming this into a members club is pretty depressing to me.
Wait until you get as rich as these guys, and then you'll be like,
Then you can be like Bill Belichick.
I hope that never happens, because I
You'll just be
actually
another
do.
Belichick.
I started a fucking dive bar for Bitcoin. Like, these are things that are important to me, and like seeing it trend in this direction, like, they're not fun.
You know what you're giving right now?
What?
they're not fun, but please invite me.
You're giving like La La Land when jazz bars are dying. You're like, and it's dying. It's dying
Is
on
that
the
the
vine.
plot of La La Land?
It's a little bit. Damien Chazelle.
It's true.
Have you seen La La Land?
Look, culture evolves, right? And you can't fight culture. Culture always wins, and it becomes this thing. But I do think it's emblematic, or it's like a symptom of underlying issues. And I think that the balkanization of
Oh, here we go again.
back to balkanization. Right, we talked about this before, but like, being in Miami and seeing those two in Miami sucked. There's no dive bars in Wynwood anymore. Wynwood is fucking dead, completely dead. You have some like classic ones in Miami Beach. Thank God Matt Club Deuce is still going. You got Ted's and some other ones. Those are important places.
No, we need to make dive bars great again, and I think I gotta like
that.
get the women to come to the dive bars, because if the women come to the dive bars,
No,
and
they'll
the men,
ruin it.
then the men have to come.
They'll ruin it.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
I'm like literally the only one here.
So the folks at Sovereign House are opening up a men's only social club.
Okay, that's all
that
it
sounds
is.
like not a good idea.
Again, that's
like
not
for like a
how it
public standpoint.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, but you kind of
you know what it
kind of
feels
already
like
did
to be
that
one of
without
the
saying
few
it.
women.
A Bitcoin dive bar. You already did that.
Unintentionally.
You already did that.
We just need a place to go where we can get away from our problems and loosen our belt. Like,
Yeah, exactly.